Whoa. Not sure if anybody's even here. Usually get quite a few people in here at the beginning, but if you are there, hello. So I've been getting a lot of questions about some of my videos, so I figured I'd maybe clear some of that up and look at a few other things and just kind of hang out, go from there. Probably wait just a minute to see if anybody else comes in. Good evening, Jeremy. How are you, man? Good to see you. Hopefully the sound is okay for everybody. I don't know if you guys heard me, but I'm just gonna give it a minute to see if anybody else pops in. There's usually quite a few more people here at the beginning, but I didn't really schedule this very far ahead of time, so... All right, well, I guess probably just get started. So yeah, like I said, there was some confusion about some of my videos. People had some questions, and I figured instead of doing individual videos about it, I would, just answer it live. London Calling with Simon does his weekly live at that time, so you may lose pipe smokers. Got it. Okay. I see. Well, if you guys want to be there, don't let me keep you. I appreciate you being here, though. I don't really watch his streams, so I wasn't aware of that. But kind of. I'm sure, as you guys have seen, I've moved away from pipe content, even before people started freaking out about the YouTube rules and stuff. But I've lost a lot of subscribers, and I think that YouTube might be limiting me because of that. And also I say some slurs and naughty words, so that might have something to do with it too. I do have a Rumble now. You can see it up here. It's the same name, Blood Logos. So if you guys have that, give me a follow over there, because if anything happens here, I'll still be there at least. All right, Yusuf, take care, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so, let's see, which video should we talk about first? Hey, Hoosier, thanks, man. Yeah, I mean, they don't mean everything, that's for sure, but I'm moving away from the whole pipe thing, so I would like to grow the channel. Probably do more live streams and stuff. Appreciate you stopping in though, man. Thank you. So yeah, some of the videos are pretty straightforward. I don't get questions on all of them, but some of them I have to be a little more careful in what I say. And also not just vomit out facts and try to make it at least a little bit entertaining. So there is some confusion with some of those. Let's see. These are all pretty straightforward. Politics is fake and gay. Are you familiar with Joel Webbin? One of your videos kind of pulled me in that direction. I don't think so, Jeremy. I think I might have looked him up if it was the guy that you mentioned in your comment on it. If it was the Chosen People one. I don't really listen to heterodox pastors very often. Because I'm Eastern Orthodox. Oh, use of fake and gay. That's a common phrase. So yeah, no, I didn't hear it from him, but sounds interesting. But I mean, that's the best way to describe it, because it's like wrestling, and wrestling is fake and gay. Professional wrestling. He's friendly to Eastern Orthodox. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm not unfriendly to Protestants or Catholics, but I disagree with them as far as Christianity goes. So I don't watch them too much. But yeah, so it's like wrestling, professional wrestling. But I think a lot of people kind of misunderstood what I was saying with that. They thought that I was saying that you shouldn't care about politics at all, and you shouldn't vote. And that's not really what I was saying. It's kind of more about like the day-to-day noise of politics that you should ignore. But there are much deeper things that you should be paying attention to and that you should care about. But like, for example, if you ever watch a Congress session, it's all bullshit. It's all them trying to get a clip that'll go viral and appeal to their voter base. They aren't actually really doing anything. It's just a lot of talk, and it's on both sides of the aisle. The problem is with Democrats that they're upfront about it. And Republicans will say one thing and then do something else. And a large percentage of them are being paid by Israel to push their agenda. And they aren't America first. Their fundraisers, call centers heat up after they make their vote. Yeah, exactly. So that's basically what I was saying about politics is fake and gay. I'm not saying that you shouldn't vote or you shouldn't care about important things. But I also think there are much more important things than what they're talking about on Fox News or CNN or any of them. And which brings me to congrats, we're slop soup now. This video was about the term melting pot and how it sort of brainwashed America, and where it originated. I had a comment from someone that said, well, I'm half Spanish and half European or something, and I'm a product of melting pots. And that's kind of missing the point of what I was saying. It's not really about race. It's more about culture and religion. They're flooding this country with Muslims and Hindus, and it's not good. It's very, very, very bad. There are towns in this country that have been completely overrun by Muslims. They have their own Muslim police forces. Their mayors are Muslim. And it's not melting, to use the melting pot term. It's not melting with our culture and our values and our morals in this country. So I believe that we should outright ban all immigration, not just legal immigration. I would prefer if we had Christians coming here, but I think we need to stop letting anyone in and focus on Americans starting families and having children, instead of using Indians to replace us. Which kind of brings me back to the politics is fake and gay. If you've noticed, the Republican Party under Trump has been completely overrun by Indians. We have J.D. Vance's wife, Kash Patel, what's that guy's name that ran for president? I can't even remember his name now. Actually, that reminds me. If I can remember his name, Ramaswamy. Yeah, Vivek. He was recently at I think it was Turning Point. Let me see if I can find the clip that I'm looking for. And we also had Trump the other day, basically celebrating a Indian holiday. it's a bad look. These people worship poo-poo demons. And yeah, and a false prophet who does that speaking in tongues gibberish, which is absolute nonsense. That's a whole that's a whole other thing to talk about. Not going to get into that right now.
Jesus Christ is God, and there is no other God. He is part of the Holy Trinity, and any other God is a demon, and it's false. How can you represent the constituents of Ohio who are 64% Christian if you are not a part of that faith? If you are an Indian, a Hindu, coming from a different culture, different religion than those who founded this country, those who grew this country, built this country, made this country the beautiful thing that it is today, what are you conserving? You are bringing change. I'll be 100% honest with you. Christianity is the one truth.
Christian Voices should be the main voice of America, and I want to know basically why you seem to be, and I don't mean to be horribly offensive, but why you seem to be masquerading as a Christian.
Familiar with the Ten Commandments?
You call yourself a Hindu, but you also call yourself Christian.
I don't call myself Christian. I call myself a Hindu. I'm not running to be pastor of Ohio. I'm running to be governor of Ohio, and I didn't run to be pastor of America. I ran to be president of the United States of America. What's your faith?
I'm a Christian. Follower of Jesus.
Great. Do you believe in the in the Holy Trinity?
What's up, Slinger? How you doing at your baby shower? So you're hiding with beer. Nice. That's what I would be doing if I was at a fucking baby shower. Oy. That's for women, dude. So I think this is the part that I was trying to be offensive. Yeah, I think I am pretty offensive. It's at my house. Oh, man. Well, if it's your baby, congratulations.
In the Holy Trinity, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
I think a lot of people here do. So
Good. And that doesn't make you a polytheist, does it?
Probably not, no.
Great. And so in my...
So this kid is a little out of his league here. Vivek he didn't really push back against your third son. Oh shit, congratulations, man. It's a lot of little slingers running around. So this kid didn't really push back against Ramaswamy here. And the nonsense that he's saying.
Faith, I believe there's one true God. He resides in all of us, and he appears in different forms, but it's one true God. So I'm an ethical monotheist. That's the way I would describe my faith. Do you think it's inappropriate for someone who's a Hindu to be, say, a U.S. president?
No, I think it's... No, well...
Yes.
Be honest.
Isn't Hinduism...
Because you're an Indian.
I can ask yourself that Hinduism believes in Shiva and what is it? The flute god. I forget.
Right, Krishna. Because you're thinking of
Krishna.
The poo-poo god, the poo-poo demon god. That we rub shit all over ourselves to celebrate.
Isn't Charlie Kirk's organization founded on Christian values as well? And isn't the United States of America also, based on what Protestantism is? Based on.
So basically, Vivek brought this kid up on stage, handed him, I believe it's like a pocket constitution, and told him that this is more important than your Bible. And kind of made him look stupid. I mean, I give this kid credit for trying to call out this bullshit, but he was very timid and didn't do a very good job with it, unfortunately. Wow, I didn't know you looked like money in that prison film. Why does everything have to get gay with you, man? I mean, I know you're not a homosexual, but there's a lot of homosexual comments that you type. They weren't making a safe space for paganism. Yeah. No offense, Fritz, I love you, but sheesh. I hope you're doing well. I lost my train of thought with the gay comment. Well, heathens don't. Heathens don't what? Be gay? Well, heathens don't worship poo-poo demons, so I'm a little more alright with them. So true, my other, in Jungian terms, is Harvey Fierstein. Heathens don't what, Slinger? Religious liberty at its roots was protecting different Nicene confessing faiths. Yeah. I think I agree with that. But unfortunately, then you get stuff like the Puritans and all the Protestants, and the Puritans are kind of what led to this this gay evangelical piety signaling bullshit that I talked about in the When Insults Save Souls videos. All that comes from the Puritans. I'm a Christian nationalist, and if it was up to me, I would have an orthodox monarchy, but I know that's very unrealistic. Well, folks, everyone happy tonight? What's up, Chillax? How you doing, man? Evangelicals are what to orthos, what Wiccans are to pagans. Gay? Big gay homos? Wiccans aren't Wiccans mostly women? That's like a woman thing to be a Wiccan. Like tarot card, astrology bullshit. If you ever have a woman ask you what your sign is, you know, and you're dating, not married, but dating them, run away as fast as you fucking can. Yeah, Wiccans are mostly women, but the guy ones are creepy style gay. Yeah, I could see that. Your sister is single again. Is she Wiccan? Does she do tarot card bullshit? I don't know if you guys have ever like scrolled through the shorts, like the vertical live streams. But there's like an insane amount of my sign is single again. That's good. There's like an insane amount of women playing with tarot cards on YouTube. It's like it's a huge amount. Have you read Forrest McDonald's Novus Ordo? The Founding Daddies? I don't need to read that. I know what their beliefs are. They're Freemasons. They want to rebuild the Temple of Solomon, which is what Trump is trying to do now, unfortunately. That's why the Israelis love him so much. They believe that he is the like new version of Cyrus, and that he's gonna usher in the third temple. But to us, that would be the Antichrist, not the Messiah. I'm gonna need to get some more coffee in a minute. I actually have something here that's kind of interesting about that, about Trump. I can't vouch for this channel. He puts out a lot of like truther stuff that I don't agree with. But he did a pretty good job in this video of compiling all of this footage. So we'll watch a little bit of it. Might actually watch it at faster speed. Speed it up. Turn the music off. I will look up that book though, Fritz. That sounds interesting. Founding Daddies. Does this freeze?
We'll see
Oh,
the
no.
building of the third temple in Jerusalem very soon. And we honor
So I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not being anti anything. This is just what they believe.
our President Trump for what he has done for Jerusalem and for the Jewish people.
See, I was visiting Jonathan in his Jewish voice, so I went to the Jewish deli, and of course we had the discussion on Trump. You asked, and I asked them, who is Trump to you? And you know what they said? Trump is our new Messiah. Actually, they want to believe that Trump is the Messiah. What I think is happening here is God.
By the way, Fritz, I appreciate you being here during your buddy Simon's stream. Jeremy let me know earlier that he's streaming right now. I wasn't aware of that. I don't really watch his stream, so I didn't even know. But yeah, thank you for being here.
Using Donald Trump to hasten the coming of the Lord. This is really what is happening here. And we need to be stay tuned because he's lining up with Israel right now in a major way.
There was a word that was appointed on the day of his birth. He was born on Friday. And what was the word appointed? When he was brought forth to the world, the word is the only word in the entire Bible that was proclaimed throughout the world that day, was the word where God instructs to bring forth the trumpet into the world. It says, you shall then make the trump, and the trump will sound at the appointed time. So Jonathan, what did that mean? It means that the election had to take place just when it did. It was just at the verge of the Jubilee. It had to happen. It had to end the way it ended. Trump had to come to power. It's like his whole life.
Hey, Ray, how are you, man?
Trump is waiting for the Jubilee. So his whole waiting for that year, waiting for that to sound. And when Rabbi Goren on the other Jubilee sounded, the reason why he had a shofar is because he based it on that scripture that was the scripture of Trump's birth.
Will Donald Trump be the one to initiate the building of the third temple? Well, these Jews in Israel believe he will. And not only that, they believe he is actually a type of Messiah to them. This is in their own words and in their gematria.
Yes, he, I believe, is the Mashiach of Edom. See? And that's why I believe the mafia of Donald Trump is Gemat Mashiach ben David.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had
I
to do
am the
it.
chosen one.
President Donald Trump was the first American president who stood up in defiance to the
It's that time of the year. Horror movies. The Night Flyer. I don't think I've seen that one. Did you ever watch those ones that you were talking about the other day? Weapons was one of them, I think. I want to see that. I kind of already know like the whole story and what happens, but I still want to see it. It has a lot of occult symbolism and stuff in it that I find that stuff kind of interesting. But it looks like it's really well done too. And Dark was, I think I recommended that to you. That was really good. Weapons was good, not too scary, but yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. Did you ever check out Dark? Svengoolie. Young Frankenstein, classic, Mel Brooks.
entrenched and endemic anti-Israel attitude of all previous U.S. administrations towards our presence.
No, but I will next. Dark for sure. Yeah, I don't really watch shows, but I started watching that and I was hooked. I watched like the whole 3 seasons in a couple of days. It's really good. It's not scary, but it's like, I guess it's a thriller, like sort of sci-fi, sort of esoteric, occult kind of stuff. But it's really good.
In the Holy Land, an attitude that was in place for the past 70 years. Only he or somebody like him would be the person who deserves this great honor of representing Western society and fulfilling the prophecy uttered to our matriarch Rebecca. The elder one will serve the younger one.
And I stood proudly with our friend and ally, the State of Israel. I kept my promise, recognized Israel's eternal capital, and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem, and actually got it built. I actually got it built.
We thank you, O Lord, for President Donald Trump's courage in acknowledging to the world.
Keeper, what's up, brother? How are you doing, man?
A truth established 3,000 years ago. That
Good to see you.
Jerusalem is and always shall be the eternal capital of the Jewish people.
Don't laugh, but what if the great...
Actually, I had a clip of that. He didn't show the whole thing. I kind of wanted to watch that too, actually, because it's related to my chosen people myth video.
The Bible proves that the Jewish people are the most unique people on the face of the earth. They are a
This guy's a Christian pastor, by the way.
chosen people. They are a covenant people. They are a cherished people. They are the apple of God's eye. The unchallengeable fact of the Bible is that Israel and the Jewish people are unique. Listen.
Yeah, yes, League. I just brought that up. That's sort of what this video is about that we were watching. But I just saw this clip of this guy in that video, so I wanted to show this clip because they didn't really show much of it.
Listen, Israel did not choose this uniqueness. God chose it for them. Listen to David's prayer in 1 Chronicles 17:20. It's one of the most powerful words in the scripture. O Lord, there is none like you, nor is there any God beside you. And who is like your people Israel? Listen, the one nation on the earth whom God went to redeem for himself as a people. Chosen.
Oops.
And still cherished. Deuteronomy 7:6, for you, Israel, are a chosen people, a holy people to the Lord your God. The Lord your God has chosen you to be a people for himself. Listen to this next sentence. A special treasure above all the people on the face of the earth. That includes the United States of America.
So it's just absolute nonsense. These people have horrible theology. I can't believe that like this guy is actually preaching to people. It's fucking insane. And there's like so many American Christians that actually believe this shit.
Sages, the Chazal, were right in saying that when the Messiah comes, even most Jews won't recognize him.
I'm going to let this play for a second while I get some more coffee. I'll be right back, guys.
That thought lingers when I consider the strange saga of Donald Trump, a man who didn't descend from heaven with fire and fanfare, but with executive orders and political disruption. He moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, scrapped the Iran deal, defunded UNRWA, shut the PLO office, and elevated unapologetically pro-Israel voices like Nikki Haley and John Bolton. Some call these acts political strategy, others might call them modern miracles, and yet critics paint him as anti-Semitic, even absurdly linking him to the Tree of Life tragedy while ignoring the roaring economy, the quiet aid to Palestinians, and his family's deep connection to Orthodox Judaism. The media obsesses over his wife's jacket, but scoffs at his overt support for Israel, as if both he and the Jewish state are threats rather than allies.
Just a short excerpt. President Trump is advancing a prophetic process that will usher in, when the time comes, the rebuilding of the Third Temple. Many of these rabbis are not even hiding now what it is that they expect Donald Trump to do. But most of this right now is behind the scene because of political...
Did I miss anything good?
pressures.
But this letter then, coming from the Sanhedrin, I kid you not, in Jerusalem, this letter to Donald Trump is signed by... they actually call themselves that. They call themselves rabbis of the Sanhedrin. And it concludes with this...
Crazy.
Rather unsettling paragraph, and I'll just read it to you. Quote, "We invite you to meet with the Sanhedrin court rabbis in Jerusalem to discuss the establishment of an international divine court, an IDC, for all nations. This court would be based on the 7 universal commandments given to Noah and reaffirmed at Mount Sinai, a foundation for global peace and divine justice," end quote. Now, of course, they are talking about the Noahide laws. That's what's supposed to replace the United Nations. And the Sanhedrin goes on, quote, to Donald Trump, "You have been elected, as Cyrus was in his time, to fulfill a heavenly mission, to unite all believers in God and to foster ethical cooperation across all spheres of human activity."
And when I speak about education and sharing, in the words of our Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Shearson, at whose resting place you prayed, and at which place you acknowledged God sparing. I was there with you, and you acknowledged God sparing your life. And that's for a reason, because God put you in this place to do the great things now that you are doing, but there may not be anyone else alive who could possibly do it. And that's why each of us has to know our mission.
It's an honor to be here with the first Jewish president of the United States.
In the heat of the 2016 U.S. presidential campaign, when Donald Trump trailed far behind in the polls and his victory seemed like a distant fantasy, an extraordinary event unfolded in Jerusalem, right above what many now believe to be the true burial site of King David. It was here at a small venue called Naval David, perched on Mount Zion overlooking the Temple Mount, that Trump's team in Israel held a campaign rally unlike any other. The location was logistically inconvenient, but that was precisely the point. The organizers wanted to connect with the spiritual heart of Jerusalem, as pre-recorded speeches by Trump and Pence played on a large screen, and as speakers like David Friedman invoked Psalm 128, "May Hashem bless you from Zion," a strange and powerful sense of alignment began to take shape. Rabbi Yosef Berger, guardian of King David's tomb, attended the event and sensed something profound was unfolding. Just as King David once overcame fierce opposition to establish his kingdom, Rabbi Berger believed Trump was tapping into that same energy, and he argues Trump...
Schneerson. These lads are Lubovichers, know them well. Yeah, they do some weird things, don't they? Especially during circumcisions. They like to use their mouth. There's been thousands of cases of babies getting herpes because the rabbis put their mouths on the baby during the bris, whatever, however you say it. It's pretty disgusting. Did you know that Israel has the most Satan worshipers per square foot out of any country in the world? Interesting.
Trump's recognition of Jerusalem as Israel's capital completed the spiritual cycle. The rabbi even points to the gematria of Trump's name, 424, the same numerical value as Mashiach ben David, Messiah from the house of David.
I'm going to give you a name of somebody. You come back and give me one name or one descriptive word. Trump.
Don't take this wrong, but remember I'm Jewish, and a Messiah is, in Judaism, is the person who would bring the one true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the world. A Messiah means a great leader, a great prophet. I believe that Donald J. Trump is a Messiah for what's called the New Jerusalem, which is the United States of America. He was it, and he opened everybody's eyes. That's the only way I can describe it. He's a prophecy fulfilled.
What I believe is the one who's going to switch from Yahweh to Yavoid is Donald Trump. He will turn America from Yahweh to Yavoid, because everything he says indicates that. He's going to really be a tremendous president in the United States. Tremendous. He's going to stand up to all the nations of the world. He's going to side with Israel when he realizes that they cannot make peace with Israel, as I've said before, because it's theologically impossible. And that's why I believe, remember I said that the gematria of Donald Trump is gematria Mashiach ben David? Trump, I believe, is the Messiah of Edom, of Esau. And therefore, he will take them from Yahweh to Yahweh.
Gematria might even be more gay than astrology.
Someone who afflicts Israel is someone who will assist them. And believe me, he's going to be fabulous with the Jewish people.
What I believe is that, this is a quote from him, he says, what I believe is that the one who is going to switch from Esau from persecuting the Jews to Esau who is serving the Jews is Donald Trump. Rabbi Kessin claims he is going to purify Edom.
I want to promise you one thing. If Trump was the president right now, we would be able to win 10 times faster and 10 times better against our Nazi enemies. He would give us any weapon we want, unconditional. He wouldn't care what the world is barking about. He would shut down these European liberals and tell them just be quiet. I run the show here.
Don't forget, I don't know if you haven't watched the show, I happen to be Jewish by
What Nazis?
birth, and 75% of all Jews vote Democrat, and they don't like Trump. And this is the greatest president for Jews and for Israel in the history of the world, not just America. Trump's the best president for Israel in the history of the world, and the Jewish people love him like he is the king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
There you go. We have a man here, Nassau County, who is one of the greats, and he won a race that was supposedly was not winnable. That was like mine. I think they gave you the same chances they gave me. Come here. Vote for Blakeman. Vote Blakeman. Nassau. What a job you've done. Come here. Good.
I want you to read it, please.
Okay, good. Please, you go ahead.
We love you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
Please read it.
Okay.
Give thanks.
Give thanks to Hashem, for his work is good, his kindness endures forever. Presented to President Donald J. Trump for his extraordinary and heroic efforts. I like that very much.
Yeah, they do have worldwide reach. I've seen a lot of people try to claim that they're like some small sect, and you know that they are. You know they're like a fringe group, but they aren't. They're huge.
To help the state of Israel and the Jewish people, he and his family should be blessed eternally. From the Israel Heritage Foundation, July 10th, 2023. I want to thank you, Rabbi. That's right.
And therefore, he will do incredible things for the
Okay, Jeremy, thanks for hanging out, man. It's good to see you. Good chat.
Jewish people. And the president of the United States is an emperor of Rome, because the U.S. is part of Esau, right? Part of Edom, part of Rome. He is really a messianic figure. He is a messianic figure in terms of Edom or Esau. Trump has a mission. So this reporter raises his hand and he says to Trump, by the way, why do you think God saved you? I think Trump was taken aback. So Trump says to him, please repeat the question out loud. That's what he said. Why? Because he probably wanted everybody to hear his answer. You see? So he wanted to make sure that everybody hears it. So he repeated the question out loud. You know what Trump answered? I'll tell you. What he should have answered was MAGA, Make America Great Again. Basically,
MEGA.
that's his campaign promise.
It's more like MEGA, Make Israel
He didn't say
Great
that.
Again.
Do you know what he said? He said, maybe God wants me to save the world because the world is going downhill. That is a messianic answer. So he recognizes that there's a divine mission. not only for America, but for the entire world.
What the world needs now are more leaders who are brave, resolute, strong, and bold. The world needs more Trumps. Mr. President, you stand before the people of Israel not as another American president, but as a giant of Jewish history, one for whom we must look back 2.5 millennia into the mists of time to find a parallel, Cyrus the Great. You, President Donald J. Trump, are a colossus who will be enshrined in the pantheon of history. Thousands of years from now, Mr. President, the Jewish people will remember you. We are a nation that remembers.
So this is the mold.
Okay, this is the original mold of the second Trump, Cyrus Trump temple coin.
You see this?
MAGA as in wizard. Do you mean Freemason? Chill. Because he pretty obviously is a Freemason. I don't think he admits it, but I've seen him do their handshake symbolism. This is what they're talking about here is one of the main goals of Freemasons. They want to rebuild the third temple, Solomon's temple. They model their temples, which they call lodges. They model them after Solomon's temple, the design of Solomon's temple. And it's essentially the goal is ushering in the Antichrist.
This is a coin with Donald Trump and Cyrus.
It sounds crazy, and they will deny that, but it's 100% true.
On it, but keep watching.
And as you can see over here, let's see what we have. Okay, first of all, we have over here in Hebrew, Lemalot Shivim Shana, to fulfill 70 years. The original verse, to fulfill 70 years, is when the Jews went out to exile, to the Babylonian exile. They were there for 70 years. And after 70 years, King Cyrus said, God, the Lord of the world, gave me permission to let you, the Jews, come back to the land of Israel. And look what he said. And he charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem. That happened about 2,500 years ago. 70 years. For the state of Israel, something happened again. One of the biggest leaders of the world, again, President Donald Trump. And
Excuse me. Numbers are really important to these people. You heard them talking about gematria, which is a numbers, gay magic bullshit. And so we have 70 years. That's significant because the temple fell 70 years after Jesus died. Or, excuse me, 70 AD.
here we see the seal of America. He again recognized Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, of the state of Israel, the people of Israel. And he also built a house in Jerusalem. But we don't want only the embassy. We hope, just as King Cyrus pushed us, the Jewish people, to rebuild the temple, we hope all the 70 nations and President Donald Trump, after he recognized Jerusalem as the spiritual, holy capital of the land of Israel, the state of Israel, he will help us, the Jewish people, rebuild the third
Israel
temple.
is calling Donald Trump King Cyrus, and this is something that's very concerning, in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. When we look at the Bible, King Cyrus was a pagan king. He wasn't even Jewish, and God used him to free Israel from captivity, returning them back from exile, and even funding them for the rebuilding of the temple in Jerusalem. So you might be asking, why is Israel calling Trump King Cyrus? And I'm going to list a few things. Donald Trump has been doing things for Israel since 2017. Some of these things you're going to have to do research on your own and dig deeper on your own. But in his first term, 2017 through 2020, he moved the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem. He recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. He brokered historic Abraham Accords with 4 Arab nations and declared Israeli settlements legal.
Many people from Israel, as well as the United States, are portraying President Trump as Cyrus, a modern-day version of the King of Persia.
Talk to us about that.
Well, in the past, various Jewish and Protestant communities have stated that the U.S. President Donald Trump is a 21st century version of ancient Cyrus the Great of Persia. This week, Israel's communication minister, Dr. Shlomo Karl, likened Trump to Cyrus. He said, Trump
Can't do
is
a
the
very
Cyrus
good
of our time, and
Jewish
even more than
Yiddish
that.
accent.
While Cyrus permitted the Jews to return to the
Gotta
land of
work
Israel,
on that.
Trump not only allowed the Jewish people to act per their understanding, and not only provided Israel the weapons it needed, but he actively participated in the subterfuge preceding the attack and the attack itself. And in Trump's first term, Rabbi Tuli Weitz publicly compared Trump to the king. And in 2018, the Sanhedrin and Temple Education Center even minted a silver coin depicting Trump's image, superimposed of that of Cyrus, who enabled the construction of the second temple back in 538. And back in 2019, Prime Minister of Israel, Netanyahu, compared Trump to Cyrus the Great.
But like the first non-Jewish Messiah, Cyrus, who was chosen to assist the Jews in reestablishing themselves in the land of Israel after their 70-year exile in Babylon, the current non-Jewish Messiah was chosen to be of service to the Jewish people and the Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was
Greg
raised in
Tunnel
a symbolic
texting
gesture
me.
of Exodus 21:6,
Where the hell
where the
is
Torah
he?
states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one, just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. We have clarified in several videos that the absolute deadline for the redemption is by the end of the Jewish year 5787, which corresponds to October 2nd, 2027, 1,167 days from today. Thus, the redemption will surely occur during Donald Trump's tenure. And I have good reason to believe.
Is Tunnel live? I don't know. He just texted me. Let me see. Might be on Rumble. Yeah, it looks like he is. Chill.
About being around people that do that. You know, I don't like that. I don't like them doing that.
Look at him. There we
Gosh, it just shows how immature they really are. Jeez.
go. It's hard to get on my keyboard because my mic's in the way.
So yeah, everybody come up with a time to do a live here on Rumble. It's fun. I mean, it's a blast, really is. Don't be scared of it. Just jump on in it. And I think I did 3 lives in about a 2-day period, just trying to figure out what to do next. You know, that sort of thing. And if you need some help, you know, let me know. And my email address is gjjtam@msn.com.
Tunnel back on you.
And get up with me, and maybe we'll change phone numbers, and that way we can text one another back and forth. I'm mainly a texter is what I am. That's mainly what I do. And I don't have a ringtone on my text, so don't expect
Yeah, he's
a
all
text to
dressed
come right
up.
straight back to you real fast, because I'll just see it when I see it. If you really want to get up with me, you call me. And I still don't have a ringtone on my phone call.
I think he sent me
because I've got so much.
I think he sent me a link to join his stream, but I don't know how to do it from my phone. Let me see if I can
I have
send it to myself somehow.
My vibrate, a constant vibrate. If there's a phone call coming in, so I can usually feel it. You know, sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. But at least when I check my phone, and most everybody checks 5. I think the statistic is people check their phone 150 times a day. You know, so most people are going to see in a relatively 10, 15 minutes that you're trying to get up with them. But anyway, y'all have a great night.
He's
Next Saturday night.
I guess he's
7
ending
o'clock,
it.
Saturday Night Live. Y'all have a good one. Bye now.
Yeah, too late. I would have joined him. I think that's Will Bill too. Ham boning. Yeah, it's too bad. I could have joined him. So, does he not have a collared tank? Sleeveless. Gotta be sleeveless. Won Paul Newman recipe contest one year. Interesting. I kind of like Paul Newman stuff. They make good spaghetti sauce.
Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Asa through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem.
There's been reports about these billboards, but I wanted to see one for myself as I've been accused of using AI, which is crazy. But these are actually all over Israel at the moment. In the Bible, King Cyrus was a Gentile, a Persian king that God called his anointed. He was used to free the Jews and rebuild the Second Temple in Jerusalem, and that's why many see Donald as a Cyrus figure, which is a leader raised up to defend Israel and realign nations for prophecy to unfold.
I said it, I wrote it in 2016. Donald Trump will be the modern day Cyrus. Now his faces Cyrus the Great all over Jerusalem, and then you got the president of Israel, who's not the same as the prime minister, introducing Donald Trump, saying he is the modern day Cyrus. And it's
Cyrus. So Cyrus was the ancient Persian king who defeated the Babylonians, allowing the Jews to be freed from captivity and go home to build the second Jewish temple.
Right.
Now, this is in Isaiah 45, and then, of course, you have a lot of people who say, 45.
45th, yes.
Yeah, 45th
yes.
president. And, what's interesting about it is this coin has Trump
Another number.
next to Cyrus, and on it, it says, and he charged me to build him a house in Jerusalem. And on the back, you ask, what house may we be talking about? And then when you look at the back of it, is the third temple. Exactly. Yes. And the third temple, for those of you who don't know, is deeply, deeply connected with end times prophecy, because that is the temple, number one, that the Antichrist will declare himself as God in, committing the abomination of desolation, which will kickstart the 3.5-year tribulation period.
As many of us know,
I was just streaming Greg on here. He texted me, but I didn't see it until like just now, but it wasn't like an hour ago. I guess he invited me to come and join his live, but I didn't notice it. Maybe next time. I think I might be able to like dual stream on here and Rumble too at the same time. I just need to get that figured out.
A couple of weeks back, Donald Trump received an award from the Israel Heritage Foundation in appreciation of his efforts to forge normalization agreements between the Jewish state and for Arab nations under the Abraham Accords. The award.
So, Will Bill, are you going to be only on Rumble now? Or are you going to do both, or what are you 45 for don't do that gematria bullshit in my chat.
A menorah was presented to the former
Yeah, they like all these numbers, they have significance to them.
president at Mar-a-Lago on February 26th.
Both,
and
okay,
the following
cool.
inscription was on the plaque at the menorah's base. This menorah, which represents the eternal light of the world, is presented to President Donald J. Trump in honor and celebration of doing what no other man has ever done, and that is to make peace between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan in the extraordinary Abraham Accords.
Process. But you have to understand what Trump is going to do. He's going to end the Arab-Israeli war permanently. Not only that, he's going to bring Saudi Arabia together with Israel. And once Saudi Arabia, which is the main concept of Islam, that's the end of the Arab problem, because then all the Arab nations will join because they all want to be protected by Trump, because this is all part of the plan of God to assist, and therefore in the end to assist Mashiach ben Yosef. And in the end, what we're
Only recreational stuff on YouTubes. Gotcha. Okay. I think people are kind of overreacting about the whole thing. I mean, I understand if you don't want to put up with any type of censorship at all, and so you're just like, fuck you, YouTube. But I think a lot of people were like panicking and didn't really read what the changes were and didn't really understand what the current rules were about it, even before those changes. And I saw some bigger, some of the like really big pipe channels that aren't really, you know, they don't really interact with the other pipe channels. They were lying about stuff, and you know, way before, like 2 months ago, saying that YouTube took down all of their review videos and all this shit. And it was it's a lie. They probably demonetized them. They didn't take them down because that channel still has reviews. I mean, you can go look and they still have the reviews on their channel. So I think they were kind of spreading misinformation. I'm not even going to acknowledge that comment.
See is unbelievable. The prophecy.
Watch this. To tell you, I've seen a lot of American presidents. Seen them all. In the time that I've been here, and I've been here quite a lot of time. I've never seen anyone move the world so quickly, so decisively, so resolutely as our friend President Donald J. Trump.
The tribulation period, as you understand it, is a 7-year period according to biblical truth. Most do see it divided into 2 segments. Is the first half different than the second half?
It is. One of the things I always like to point out, too, is a lot of people think the rapture starts the 7-year tribulation. The 7-year tribulation starts, Daniel 9:27 tells us, when the Antichrist makes a treaty with Israel. So, you know, the rapture could happen.
There's no such thing as a rapture. That was completely made up by Protestants.
Today, and the tribulation could start next week,
In like
next
the
month,
late
maybe a year or two from now.
1800s.
There could be a gap of time that'll allow for some further preparation. But at some point in time, this Antichrist figure is going to come on the scene and make a treaty, the Bible says, with Israel. And that's going to trigger this 7-year period of time. But it's divided in Daniel 9:27 into 2 halves. There's a first half and a second half to it. The first half of that period of time, Israel's going to enjoy peace. And I think at the beginning of the tribulation, there's going to be a time of worldwide peace. It says in Thessalonians, while men are saying peace and safety, then sudden destruction is going to come on them. So the world is going to finally get its desire of having some peace and prosperity. Yeah. But at the midpoint of that tribulation period, there's going to be some events that happen that trigger the Antichrist in is going to take the world over. And so that second half of the tribulation period, that last 3.5 years, he's going to dominate the world and rule the world. And it's going to be a reign of terror that's going to come really when he's on the earth.
The insane thing is that the people who believe this stuff want it to happen. They want to usher in the end times. It's like totally demonic and sick.
Few hours, Israel and Hamas have agreed to something historic, a ceasefire with a hostage prisoner exchange and a withdrawal of the military in Gaza. No one saw this agreement coming.
In case you don't remember, last July, the Israel Heritage Foundation presented Trump with the Crown of Jerusalem Award, which was a silver Torah crown contained in a glass box. An inscription quoted Psalm 136:1 and noted Trump's extraordinary and heroic efforts to help the state of Israel and the Jewish people. Once again, we see that many Jews continue to view Trump as the man who will finally bring peace to the Middle East. But more than that, some view Trump as possibly even being Mashiach ben Yosef, one of the 2 redeemers in Jewish tradition. Mashiach ben Yosef will be a political and military leader who will wage war against the forces of evil that oppose Israel. He will also be involved in the building of the Third Temple. More and more, there are those who are looking at Donald Trump as the one who will build the Third Temple. From a Christian perspective, it's all rather coincidental that the man who perfectly matches how the Bible describes the Antichrist also just happens to be a builder and also just happens to be the one that many Jews think will build that temple. Pay special attention to the bottom half of this inscription. The Israel Heritage Foundation, with profound gratitude, presents this Covenant of Peace Award.
Looks like somebody said something that YouTube blocked, but it showed up on the screen. I'll settle for peace so long as the fat Jews in suspenders aren't allowed to talk on it. Damn, called out. Called the fuck out.
To the Prince of Peace, President Donald J. Trump.
But he's going to dominate the world at that point in time. So this world is going to end with this great apostasy, the Bible calls it, a great falling away, when this one man is going to be worshipped as God.
Now look at this, because it's key. Israel and Hamas are not alone in this agreement. A host of countries are involved. The United States driving the plan, Egypt and Qatar as key mediators, Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Jordan providing regional legitimacy, and even the European Union as a potential funder of reconstruction. This is exactly what the first half of Daniel's prophecy describes. The Bible says that a leader with global power, he will confirm a covenant with many for 1 week, and halfway through, he will put an end to sacrifice. This agreement between Israel and many other countries seems to fulfill that first part of the prophecy. But
Do you think 31 Atlas is wormwood? Is that a comet? I really don't. I don't know. I don't know much about that. Explain, please. Sounds intriguing.
Even right now, Trump is making peace deals in the Middle East and also continuing his relationship with Israel. He's doing way more with Israel than any other president, which is why so many Jewish people are viewing him as paving the way for their Messiah. And
Atlas has Macho Man Randy Savage riding it to Earth. He's going to take me to Hulkamania. Interesting. You guys ever seen Dan Soder? He does like an amazing impression of Macho Man. Hey Greg, I was just streaming you on Rumble on here. I didn't catch you until right at the end though. I didn't see your text.
I never noticed how scared Miss Elizabeth was all the time. She was always terrified to do anything. She has like Jamie Lee Curtis and Halloween energy the whole time. She's just like walking like, and it's the thing that I always thought it would be funny if like Macho Man was jump scaring her at home, and that's why she's always scared. You know, she's like, Randy, and he's like, I'm over here, and she's like, oh, because that's always she had like the. But there's a moment where she goes and she's like helping him, and he's like, my leg, and he takes his boot off, similar to what Dirty Dom and AJ Styles did, but he takes it off, and then Brett just works the leg, and Macho Man keeps the leg up the whole match, doesn't put his leg on the ground, and then the finish is great because it's like
Get to
it's
the
like
impression.
a finish where you're like, oh great, because you're like, how is he going to compete? His leg's busted, dude. Back to my buddy Vic, we used to cut promos on each other about like roommate stuff. Where it'd be like, yeah, electric bill hasn't been paid. Yeah, gonna be a little bit of a problem. Gonna be a little bit of a problem when they shut the lights. That's the night that the lights went out in Georgia. Yeah, and it's like it's
Dead on. Greg, was that thing you texted me? Was that like to join your stream, like on video? I would have if I saw it, but I was streaming and I didn't notice.
the Messianic age.
Mohammed, you sleep at night? How do you sleep? Huh?
Oh man, yeah. If you next time, let me know a little bit ahead of time, and I'll hop in with you.
Just think it. What a job. He tosses and turns like some of us. Tosses and turns all night. How do I make it even better all night? It's the ones that don't toss and turn. They're the ones that will never take you to the promised land, won't they? But you have done some job. True.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu gave credit for Alexander's release to President Trump and the IDF.
This was achieved thanks to our military pressure and the political pressure exerted by President Trump. This is a winning combination.
The time of momentary peace in the Middle East, the one who is believed to be the...
No, I'm not on a regular schedule. I might start doing that, but I don't know. I guess that would be good to so people like know when I'll be on, but just kind of whenever I feel like it.
Next Messiah, who will ultimately be the Antichrist, the building of the third temple, all of this is connected.
The agreement we're seeing now didn't come out of nowhere. It's the result of many years of talking, negotiating, and building a platform that could bring us to this point. That platform began in 2020 with the so-called Abraham Accords. These were a series of agreements championed by Donald Trump during his first term. The goal was for Israel to establish diplomatic and peaceful relations with several Arab countries, something that once seemed unthinkable. But this wasn't just a political agreement, it was also a religious
getting
one.
into AI
The clearest
bullshit
evidence
now.
of this was the creation of the Abrahamic family house. It's a remarkable place where they built a mosque for Muslims, a synagogue for Jews, and a church for Christians, side by side as a symbol of unity. All of it sits within a single complex in the United Arab Emirates. That gesture embodies the coming together of faiths that share a common origin. Abraham, a pivotal figure in Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. So the countries backing the new peace pact had already been part of the negotiations.
Hey,
that
Yusuf,
produced
welcome
these
back.
agreements.
Now in 2025, this is where it gets really heavy. Trump proposed full U.S. oversight of Gaza to rebuild it. He brokered a ceasefire between Israel and Iran. And on October 8th, a peace plan with Hamas was signed, freeing hostages and pulling Israeli troops out of Gaza. This was just recent. And finally, Trump helped lead a global summit in Egypt, producing the Trump Declaration for Enduring Peace and Prosperity, signed by nearly 30 nations to support long-term peace and demilitarization in Gaza. And on October the 14th, he declared that Hamas must disarm. So he made a statement saying, Hamas, you have to disarm voluntarily or pretty much be forced to disarm. So we can see that Donald Trump is dedicated to Israel's long-term security. So I think these things are eye-opening. All I'm saying is when Cyrus showed up, the temple was rebuilt. So if Israel is calling Donald Trump King Cyrus, could we be on the verge of something bigger? Could the rebuilding of the temple come next?
The Saudi Crown Prince, a powerful leader known as MBS, has hinted that Arab nations might give their blessing to build the temple. In exchange for what? In exchange for lasting peace across the region and a solution for the Palestinian people. And that is precisely what the agreement between Hamas and Israel is beginning to achieve. If Israel, already prepared, gets the green light from the other nations, it could finally build that third temple. And if that happens, the second part of Daniel's prophecy would be ready to be fulfilled. But
So I just ask, are they here? Can we see them? That starts going up, the curtains open. There's the red heifer. Wow, they're alive and well again in Israel, and they're beautiful. All the time I get emails, I get phone calls, I get letters from people. The red heifer, the red heifer, the red heifer. Well, I am in Israel, in Shiloh. There are the red heifers. So this one qualifies as to be the first sacrifice of the rebuilt temple.
Yes, I think, yes, for about a year now.
Everyone, Mon Gonzalez here, and I want to give an update on the red heifers. They're absolutely, my sources are tight, they're with the people that are there. There are absolutely 2 qualified red heifers still in existence, and they're still looking to do the ceremony this year.
it means he will not conquer the world through war, but through a counterfeit peace. He will sell the world on peace and security, and the nations, desperate to end their conflicts, will accept him as a savior. That is why when world leaders start talking about everlasting peace or historic agreements in the Middle East, the prophecy alarms start flashing. Not because peace is bad, but because the Bible warns that a global false peace will be the sign that precedes the unveiling of this deceiver and the final destruction. And this is where it all ties together in a chilling way with Donald Trump.
Armageddon, that word's only used one time in the Bible. It's in Revelation chapter 16, verse 16, yet it's probably the one word that people know about the end times more than any other.
Armageddon.
But it's actually a literal place. In Hebrew, the word har means a hill or a mountain, and so it's really
What's up, Donnie? How you doing, man? Good to see you.
Mount Megiddo. And if anyone's ever been to Israel, they know that site there of Megiddo that overlooks the Jezreel Valley or the Valley of Megiddo. 20 miles long, 14 miles wide. Napoleon called it the world's most perfect battlefield.
Interesting.
And so the Bible tells us in the end times, right before the second coming of Christ, all the armies of the earth are going to be gathered there to the land of Israel.
Jesus himself told us to watch the fig tree to know when God's kingdom is near. In the Bible, the fig tree represents Israel. So when we see major events in Israel, we must pay close attention. But what we have not talked about yet is who the global figure is that promotes this prophecy. Many interpretations hold that this global power figure will be the Antichrist. And this is where things get interesting. Many people are starting to say that this person could be
That guy is such a slimy little snake Jew boy.
a man named Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner is Donald Trump's son-in-law. He was the key figure behind the Abraham Accords platform we discussed earlier. And there's another curious detail that has caught a lot of attention. For a time, his office address was 6666 Fifth Avenue in New York. But beyond the...
I guess that's the end of the video. Mr. M. Kodge, how long do you think this might go? Asking because I'm trying to decide if I should fire up a pipe. I don't know. I kind of talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I didn't really have anything lined up. But I could pull up some more videos and stuff and just hang out and chat. I addressed some things at the beginning of the stream. But yeah, I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say. But yeah, we'll hang out for a little while. I might step outside for like 5 minutes to go to the bathroom and stuff. But I'll leave it up streaming. Let's see. I think I have some saved. How do I get to my save videos? Oh, this is fitting. We were talking about women doing witchcraft.
That go, oh, I'm actually...
This guy's really funny,
You were a
too.
neurodivergent woman in the 18th century. You better hope that your neighbor's cow didn't just
Say
die
this stuff
randomly
again. A lot of
for
us
no reason.
wasn't here.
Because they gonna get your ass. They gonna get your ass. They gonna get your ass. They gonna whoop your god.
I don't really remember everything I said, to be honest with you. It was kind of clearing up some confusion about things that I said in some of my videos. So you can always go back and watch it if you want. I'll leave the stream up. But yeah, I'll start this up. This is something we actually talked about a little bit. Women doing witchy bullshit. So yeah, I'll play this, run to the bathroom, and get some more coffee, and I'll be back.
Ace. Have you or a loved one encountered a basic art hoe only just to find out that she is into witchcraft and then shrugged it off as though it was inconsequential, perhaps just to smash, or because she is a baddie and not many of those give you attention? If you weren't instantly repulsed by the prospect of her believing that she can get whatever she wants and manifest things by crafting little spells and potions in her dirty kitchen that has a sink full of unwashed dishes, then you may be entitled to compensation because you've fallen for decades of finely tuned propaganda. Listen, I'm not going to act like this is a new thing. Niggas with my phenotype have been stuffing witches into burlap bags and throwing them into lakes since the 15th century. We're the granddaughters of the witches you couldn't burn. Oh yeah? Well, we're the grandsons of the retards you couldn't lobotomize. Here's the thing. Witches used to have to go hide in secrecy to practice their little weird bullshit for fear of the townspeople grabbing them and beating them with socks stuffed full of soap bars. If you were a neurodivergent woman in the 18th century, you better hope that your neighbor's cow didn't just die randomly for no reason. Because they gon' get your ass. They gon' get your ass. They gon' get your ass. They gon' whoop yo goddamn ass. I'm gonna tell you right now, the majority of witchcraft is just pure gobbledygook. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like the witchcraft of old is more real, but it did have a little bit more authenticity to it. Those dumb bitches back in the day used to run around in secrecy and collect herbs and bones and blood and stolen Bible verses and have to go hide to practice in the forest. Divination stuff tied to life and death, but the best part about it was that there was zero clout. There was 100% chance that if your village decided that you're in league with Satan because their bread went moldy, yo ass is going in the bonfire. Flash forward to today, we got these dumb bitches casting spells so that their ex will text them back. We got these girlies manifesting self-empowerment vibes and aestheticizing a magical life with crystals purchased from Amazon, candles bought from TJ Maxx, and $40 tarot decks bought from Etsy. Those crystals that you're praying into and recharging in the moonlight that you think are helping cast hexes on people that you don't like, those magical, powerful crystals, those came from a factory in Shenzhen, China. They're filled with glitter and made with hardened polymer. You know how women on social media love to compare men to the days of old? Men used to go to war and now they're mad because I won't text them back. Men used to go to war and now they're talking about politics on podcasts. Well, guess what? We used to have hoes that would cut the heads off chickens and dig up graveyard dirt for curses. Now we got bitches posting thirst traps with their TikTok spell books and spazzing out because Donald Trump has an impenetrable force field that isn't allowing their spells to get through. You might think that I'm making up some boogeyman because you don't see this all the time, like witches, witchcraft and wizardry. What is this, Harry Potter? I'm not talking about women that are generally found in the deepest, darkest corners of witch talk. Yes, TikTok for witches is a thing. I regret to inform you of that. Unfortunately, the practice of witchcraft has spread out so far and wide like a mind virus to so many modern young women that a lot of them don't even realize they're practicing it. And if you call them out on it, they will rationalize it as though it is a self-empowerment thing and look at you as though you're crazy because you don't agree with it. There are even some of them that have fallen so hard for the propaganda of entitlement and witchcraft that they can't even fathom the idea that a guy like you would turn them down or dump them because you don't fuck with that shit. I've had my fair run-ins with women that ask me about my astrological sign and want to know why, when I was born and all that. And I would say probably I fell for it around 18-ish. I did it once or twice where I tried to find out where I was born. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Don't fall for it. Good women today will actually use the astrology thing as a litmus test to see if you're a fag or not. There are girls that will ask you your sign, and if you go, oh, I'm actually a Scorpio, and this is my sun, moon, rising, they'll go, okay, you're a fag, and not talk to you anymore. To see if you're just some performative male queer, you're just some guy, oh, this is my, they'll be like, okay, good to know, and then you'll wonder why they ghost you. Don't fall for it. Under any circumstances, do not give a woman your birthday. Don't ever tell a woman your birthday. You don't want presents from them. You don't want witchcraft done on you. You don't want a sign read. You don't want a palm reading. You don't want any of that shit. Back in the day, there was a perfectly fine girl that I started dating. Well, not necessarily perfectly fine. She did this thing that I found weird that most guys would probably find Scott Pilgrim, Ramona Flowers, manic pixie dream girl level cute, where she lined the floors of her car with fake grass. We had dated for a couple months. I went over to her house. I'm a little bit of the inquisitive type. I'm a curious little fellow. I get a little curious. I get a little sugar in me. I get a little curious. But there was a time when I went over to her house and I saw in the corner that there was this spiritual altar, a legitimate altar that had candles and what looked like religious paraphernalia. And in the middle of all of that was this jar. It was a jar. And I had asked her what it was, and she's like, oh, that's just my intention jar. Like, an intention jar. This is something that I had never heard of before. This is something that I had never encountered. So I had to keep prying because I'm a curious little fellow. What is this intention jar? So she goes on to explain with a straight face that the primary function of the jar is to make me fall unconditionally in love with her. I have to show you what this jar looked like. This is basically what I saw, but imagine this in the middle of some sort of religious altar with candles, something that looks like this in the middle of a girl's room who seems normal and has never expressed any thoughts of spirituality or religion to you whatsoever, that you've spent the last couple of months with. You see this, you're going to ask some questions. So naturally, I start prying and I ask, what is in the jar? What are the ingredients of this jar? And the ingredients, she, again, with a straight face, no concept in her mind that this might be not something she should be telling me. She tells me that there's a lock of my hair, there's frog's breath, there's witch hazel, there's chicken bones, there's a note that she had to write in cursive about what her intention for me was, and then burn the note, wrap it up, put a ribbon around it, put it inside of there. There's other things like honey and wheat, grass. There's all these weird little things, that's crystals. She's telling me all this stuff, and my jaw's probably dropped all the way to the floor at this point. And I explained to her that this is such a disrespectful breach of spiritual privacy, one could say. And she absolutely, during this conversation, couldn't comprehend why I wasn't comfortable with it, why I didn't fuck with it at all. And I even tried to explain to her, why wouldn't you just try to become a person that is worthy of my unconditional love? I think there's something with women where instead of working towards a goal, they'd rather just pray to a jar and invoke dark, evil spirits to help them get what they want instead of just working towards what they want. To this day, I'm positive that she still has no idea why I dumped her over that. She she can't, the female mind can't fathom why a guy like me would dump a seemingly perfectly fine girl over some shit like this. She's been so wired and programmed to believe that I can just do whatever I want. I can just play with dark magic and a Ouija board my way into getting a guy to unconditionally love me, and there's nothing wrong with that because I'm a girl and I should be allowed to practice witchcraft. Luckily, I had a father that told me growing up, there was stuff that my dad would just tell me unprovoked for no reason. He would just look at me and he'd go, hey, do you know the difference between a good witch and a bad witch? I'd be a child and I'd go, I don't know, what's the difference? And he'd go, a bad witch knows exactly where she's pulling her power from. And what he meant by that was that a good witch, because there will be girls that you encounter, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as that. And that's what my dad was trying to tell me with his random outbursts, is that a bad witch knows that they're pulling from the dark, magical, from demons, from demonic energy. And a good witch is foolish and thinks, well, I can just create a little intention jar in a spiritual shrine altar and pray to Baphomet and get him to get you to love me unconditionally. And that's actually just a good thing, though. I'm doing it in a good way. I'm not doing it in a bad way. I'm not doing it. It's a healthy way. There was another girl that I dated briefly who had FaceTimed me one day while she was sitting on her bed, and I had just enough visual information to realize that there was a tapestry above her headboard. You know how a lot of girls, especially hoes, will have that one tapestry above their bed that tells you, oh, I'm getting lucky. She's a hoe. We hooking up. This wasn't that. This was a black and white tapestry that I could...
That's so true. I've seen that in a lot of girls' bedrooms.
Just kind of make out some of the symbols on there behind her. And I go, hey, can you show me what's on the tapestry behind your headboard? And she points it at me. And what she had behind her, watching over her while she slept at night, was a tarot card tapestry, a Baphomet Gothic Satanic Witch Halloween home decor wall hanging. And she wondered why she had bad dreams every night. She was one of those girls that told me, I have nightmares every night. And I go, are you like a Satanist? What's your religious leaning? Why would you have that behind your bed? She goes, oh, I just saw it at Zoomies and I thought it was cool. And so I go, why the f would you have that above your bed? And there's going to be a lot of esoteric dudes. Oh, Baphomet actually isn't demonic. He's actually, the Knights Templar actually prayed to him back in the day. He's not actually demonic.
Knights Templar are gay.
Anything that looks like this, I want nothing to do with. And you know what her response was? That's Baphomet. I have a tattoo of him on my inner thigh. Do you know how many weak men there are that would see that and shrug it off and be like, I'm still gonna f***? Most dudes would try to shrug that off and go, nah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Let me f*** though. Let me f***. Can I f*** though? That's cool. Not me. I'm not one of those guys. Not me. I'm not doing it. Because there are real things in this world like succubuses that are designed to steal your energy from you. I won't fall for it. I'm not doing that. I will not be one of those dudes. So I stopped talking to her immediately. What am I going to be eating her out while Baphomet's whispering secrets into my ear? You have Baphomet on your inner thigh? You expect me to just be eating your while Baphomet is just whispering sweet nothings into my ear? Not happening. We're not doing that. Part of what's crazy about this whole thing is that this isn't just a singular experience. This is a universal shared core memory with a lot of men. This is not just a, oh man, this guy dates crazy women type of scenario. There are many guys currently watching this that are thinking to themselves about that one girl that they dated that did the same stupid shit. And if you think I'm lying, let's take to the internet and find some examples of this. Your body is so T. Girl, I know. I've done like 1,000 different glamour spells on myself. Bitches will do 1,000 different glamour spells on themselves before getting a gym membership. See what else this girl has to talk about. When I'm hexing PDF files in my garage, crazy girl, and not checking his snap score and give me your location, crazy girl. Guess what? Both of them are bad. This normalization of crazy is ridiculous. When it's summertime, but you have a group of BPD baddies who need their man back.
BPD baddies.
Like
Holy
before
shit.
regularly maintaining their vagina so that it doesn't stink.
Oh
Here's
my
the reality,
God.
okay? More and more people are turning to witchcraft, and there's so many practitioners that are good at what they do. If you are being a shitty person, there's a high probability and a high chance that a person that you're being shitty to is willing to spend $200 to pay a girl who's autistic wearing a unicorn outfit to put you in a jar and have you fall off a 3-story building.
Has never worked in history and
Of course, she has a septum piercing.
will never work.
This is the look. This is the look of a girl who got a grown man to fall off a 3-story building.
I call bullshit. I like how she's appropriating autism too.
This is the look of a girl who's gotten multiple different PDF files put in prison.
Nope. You've done nothing. You've done not a single thing.
Okay? We're not scary witches. We don't...
Greg, BPD means borderline personality disorder.
Don't have to travel in the woods anymore to like get the horrible people put in jail.
That's what this is. This is cornballs. Certified cornballs. This is like those girls that go have picnics at the cemetery and do a whole Instagram photo shoot based around it just to show everyone that they go have picnics at the cemetery.
You just have to like find a girl off TikTok who wears unicorn outfits. So
this nigga. I hope that this woman looks back on these videos in her 40s and has a panic attack and an existential crisis, realizing how cringe this is and how much years she wasted, years of her young life that she wasted, acting like a dumb witch hoe. What? Men think I make all my money from OF, when in reality I make all my money by hexing horrible men's wee-wees and helping their girlfriends leave them for a man who can actually find the clit. Yeah, let's invoke the dark demonic spirits so that a girl can have a guy that can sexually please them. It's embarrassing. He never texts me anymore, cheats on me constantly, has no job. What spell work do you recommend we do? Dump him? Dump him? Get some self-respect? Work on yourself? Find a different guy? What spell work do you recommend we do? Oh, man. You know what's worse than dating a girl that thinks she's actually doing this? Dating a girl that goes and spends her hard-earned money on a girl to do some dumbass hand movements to a altar in her garage. That is a garage. Do you see the top of that? Oh, you can see it right here. Look at, you can see the railing. Finding out that the dumb orange just got diagnosed with a vein condition after all thousands of witches hexed him to smithereens. You know she stinks.
Hi, I'm a neat-pilled schizo posting pure-hearted.
I'm guessing dumb orange means Trump.
This is how to do a protection sigil.
This nigga.
This is my friend Belle, and she's a professional witch, and she's going to teach me how to do some protection spells, and I would like to show you as
Professional witch.
See that jar right there? That's what the jar looked like. Sometimes when I'm bored, I send my homophobic ex very spicy, fruity dreams of him and his friends. Let's go look at her store. Baneful Bells LLC. She's a witch, but she had to file for an LLC, huh? With a trademark? She trademarked LLC in her name. Baneful Bells LLC trademark. Wow. Masters of witchcraft, wizardry, and business. Glamour spells. Enhance personal allure and shift how others perceive you. Love spell. Get the love life of your dreams. Third-party removal custom love spell bundle. What?
So I grew up in a very liberal city. And there, you know, I lived there until I was in my mid-20s, I think. And the young people there, it's a lot of like artist types and stuff like that. And a lot of the women there are like this. They had those tapestries over their beds. They had animal skulls on display. You know, into the horoscopes and tarot card bullshit. Thankfully I got away from there, but in my 20s, this is like exactly how most of the women that I knew were.
A deal, $150. Let's book this baby.
They weren't putting it all online for everybody to see, though, like those.
Spell bundle to reignite the passion in a relationship while removing all third parties who come between you and your specific person. Book if you want.
Oh, there's another comment that didn't seem to go through. Borderline autism. Cut off. I can't see it.
To remove a third party, are in no contact / blocked, want to get back in communication, want them to desire only you. Here's the thing that you guys need to realize that you probably aren't aware of yet. There are a lot of girls that you have dated or are dating currently that are willing to resort to this type of shit to get your attention. This is embarrassing. This is probably as embarrassing as a girl going through her guy's phone only to find that he's trying to cheat on her, but he keeps getting dissed. He keeps getting curved by other bitches. This is that level of embarrassing. Cock blocker spell? Well, I should just get this for Poncho.
Put your comments to all messages? I don't know how to do that. Let me see. Oh. Whatever. shit. People don't realize the spirit that they are fooling with. Yeah. Or they do realize and they just don't care.
I need to buy this. $222. What a deal. I bet I could haggle her down to $10. This spell helps ensure your partner's desires are entirely focused. Oh, no, never mind. I thought this was just like the cock block somebody, not to get Poncho's desires focused completely on me. I thought it was just the cock block anybody. Blocking any distractions or temptations. Maybe we can customize the spell. Maybe I could say, hey, dude's like a homie, and I just want to fuck with his life a little bit. I don't want him to be sexually desiring me or anything, but I want to just make sure that
Frau Ewert burns locks of my hair in a bowl surrounded by tarot cards and playing Judy Garland records. That's something. I really hope that's a joke. I mean, I'm sure it is, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of women these days that would actually do that.
he gets no play. It's just a prank, bro. Stop your partner's sexual energy from being directed anywhere but towards you. I mean, that'd be still a funny prank where all of a sudden now Poncho's just madly in love with me and he doesn't know why. It's just a prank, bro. How long will it take? Book a timeline analysis reading. Oh, so $75 on top of the $222 to get a timeline analysis. Timelines are as unique as the individuals and situations we cast on. Book this reading when you want to know more about your spell's individual timeline to see results and the probability of achieving those desired results. This is a grift. This is a girly grift. Is this the same level as guys selling alpha male programs? Adding names to the jar tomorrow. It's $20 and I'll leave it open today. She's doing
kind of is like the female version of the manosphere fake alpha males.
jar. See, that's the thing. That one girl tried to convince me that it wasn't witchcraft with the jar. This is total witchcraft. Instant Witch. The Beginner's Guide is available for pre-order. If you've ever been curious about witchcraft, this is the book for you.
August.
Poor dogs.
It's the first
Yeah,
of the month, so
poor
let's do an
dogs.
abundance ritual. What you need for this ritual is a coin in your currency. I'm using a quarter, but any coin is fine. And a spice. Normally I use cinnamon for this, but I'm actually using pumpkin pie spice this month because we're pretending Halloween's
Pumpkin
over here. This has
spice,
cinnamon as well
of
as
course.
ginger, nutmeg, and clove in it. To your front entrance, it doesn't have to be your front door. Do whatever entrance you use most frequently. You can also do this into your bedroom if you're in a shared home. The coin beside the door and sprinkle cinnamon on it. Pick it up with your left hand. Generally in witchcraft, the left is used for receiving and the right giving. Face into the home and say the following affirmation. I draw abundance, health, wealth, love, and success effortlessly and abundantly without any blockages. I like to say it 3 times.
Whimsical music in the background. Like this is some Lord of the Rings shit.
Stupid boy. Didn't anybody ever tell you? Never cheat on a witch. It may just come back to bite you. May it burn when you pee. You can't get it up for anyone but me.
Banana hex.
I'm putting you guys on game. If you go to her house and there's a banana that has a note stuffed in it with a bunch of needles and twine wrapped around it, wrapped in foil, run.
I think this guy might be Jordan Peterson's bastard offspring. What? I don't get it. I'm working on a Jordan Peterson impression, but I don't think it's quite ready for the public yet.
Get out of there. This is an orc cosplaying as a witch. This is a level 45 orc. You're not fooling me.
Good lord.
Cornball.
When I was still new to witchcraft, I did an obsession spell that literally saved my life. But it wasn't on a man. It was on my will to live.
This casted a spell so that she didn't kill herself.
I was numb, tired, floating through life like I didn't even exist in it. So I sat down one night, lit my candles.
It's awesome what positive mental attitude can do. That's all this is just changing your thought process on how you maneuver through life.
Made a circle, and I decided I was going to do a spell to make life itself not just fall back in love with me, but become obsessed with me and me with it.
Come on, dude.
I didn't ask for money.
What are we doing
I didn't
here?
ask for a man. I didn't even ask for happiness. I just asked for obsession.
I want life to fall back in love with me. Cornball.
To pull me out of bed
Yeah, it is pretty corny.
like a lover grabbing my waist saying, "Get up, we've got things to do."
Oh, it's the same. It's the banana bitch. Okay.
It's a
Feeling
banana
overwhelmed?
bitch.
There's a spell for that. Simply take a bowl of water, sprinkle in some salt, then stirring the water counterclockwise, repeat these words. In crystal clear water and salt that is fine, I release what is not for the soul of mine. I stir away weight, I stir away woe. Let peace return, let chaos go. Then you'll want to wash your hands in it.
Cornball. There is actually a subreddit dedicated for witches versus the patriarchy. The description states that it is a woman-centered sub with a witchy twist, aimed at healing, supporting, and uplifting one another through humor and magic. The goal is to at once embrace and poke fun at the mystical aspects of femininity that have been previously demonized and are devalued by the patriarchy. This subreddit is a safe space for women, BIPOC, and anyone in the LGBTQ+ community.
Oh my
Your sisters not
God.
sisters. If you do not consider yourself an ally, then this subreddit is not for you. I wanna
Holy
see what
moly.
these people look like.
If,
I wanna
as
see
if
what
it
someone like
couldn't
this
get
looks
any
like.
worse, they put feminism bullshit into it too. New Age witchcraft is strange stuff. Hey, Carrie.
Well, judging by the way that this ring is squeezing the fuck out of your fat finger, I think I know. My partner gave me a door to the underworld and a creature to guard it. Can I get positive thoughts for a new medication I'm starting? I'm setting new intentions and letting go of what no longer serves me. Maybe you should set new intentions of getting your ass back in the kitchen and let go of what's keeping you from serving me a sandwich. Yuck. Yuck. Okay, I'm seeing what they look like, and it's exactly what I expected. Ugh. I'm in my green phase.
Hey, there's nothing
Stepping
wrong with
on
being
the
green.
toes of the patriarchy. You stink. We all know you stink. We all know you smell like Duke. We all know you wipe back to front. Come on now. The thing that really irks me about all of this is that they think they're badass. They think they're really badass with what they're doing. And they need to be ridiculed. They need to be laughed at. They need to be mocked. Okay, that miniature painting is
Absolutely.
actually kind of dope, though. Of course, it's put on a gross chest. It's not bad, though. Oh, come on, with the weird ribbon choker. Those miniature painting. That's a miniature painting's kind of cool. Let's go to r/witchcraft. Made a money jar and it worked? Question mark. I'm literally blown away and still processing. Made this.
Take care, Yusuf. Thanks for hanging out. Green hair dye doesn't last really well.
Money jar to manifest and save for an upcoming trip, and it was my first effort in spell work and manifestation. The afternoon that I made it, my nesting partner
Nesting partner?
came home and said his boss offered him tons of overtime, which pays
The fuck is a nesting partner?
so dang well. I prayed into a jar, and now my partner gets to work more. Now my partner gets to give me more money. Today, just a few days after making the jar, a neighbor from a few houses down offered to buy the junker car I've been letting sit and meaning to fix or sell for the entire 3 years that we've been neighbors. A random $1,200 cash, and now I don't have to pay insurance on a car that's just been sitting in limbo. The blessings have already been bountiful, and I'm so grateful. Man, these people are delusional. Freezer spell for unwanted people near me and my husband. Help/spell work. I've done a freezer spell before, but was wondering if a freezer spell would work on this situation. My husband and I have a friend that is a very manipulative person, and overall a bad energy and influence on his life. He does not see his bad and manipulative intents as I do. Would a freezer spell work to keep this person away from my husband and I and our marriage? I wonder if the spell would backfire and make him keep contacting my husband. Any other suggestions? Yeah, tell him to leave you alone. Communicate. Put your foot down. Say, hey, dude, don't ever contact me or come to my house again. This is the type of person that would probably smile in his face and be like, it's okay, and then go start doing ritualistic spell work to get him to not come back to her house. You are the liar and the manipulator. Sounds like you're not being honest. Sounds like you're smiling in his face and then taking a trip to Hogwarts the second he goes home. Am I screwed? I trying and failing. Hello, ladies. I did a cord-cutting ritual to try and sever a soul tie with a person who never loved me. It was a short relationship and very lustful, but I did at one point think we were right for each other until he flipped the script. Not only am I disappointed in him, but I am broken over once again being reminded that it's not my turn. Yeah, because you do shit like this. Because you're doing shit like this. Because you're talking about doing spells on him on Reddit. I'm physically and mentally exhausted from giving my best and getting shit in return in relationships. I figured a cord-cutting ceremony would be beneficial after seeing the same dude driving next to me on his way home. I had already been planning to do this. I certainly rushed home to light these candles because I am over it. The candle representing him actually ended up breaking with the cord still attached, and I made a mess of trying to affix the cord so it could burn, to no avail. The cord on the candle representing me would not burn, so I cut it. Now my friend says I'm inviting bad spirits and possessions into my life, and I am just lost on what to do. That would be the only great thing about this being real, is that it backfires on all these stupid bitches. And now a demon's in their house, and he's like, I'm here to fuck. You were a tough witchy girly? How about you go pray into a honey jar to get the demon out of your house? Oh, that's not going to work. Oh, that's not going to work. Now he's bitch slapping you across the room. Oh, you're pulling out your TikTok spellbook in self-defense of this demon, and he's whooping your ass? The village people back in the 18th century knew that women are stupid and can't handle this type of power, harnessing this type of demonic energy, and that's why they started throwing them in lakes and burning them in the bonfire. Apparently, someone casted a spell which made me gay. A few months ago, my parents found out I was gay and took it poorly, especially my mother. That led me to moving with my partner.
Wait, that's
in a foreign land,
I thought he was
which we were
joking. That's
planning
an
to do
actual
anyways, but the
post.
parents didn't know. So after a few months of not contacting me, my mother decided to get in touch with me, and after warning me, I chose poorly to go with my boyfriend. She revealed a piece of information I did not expect to hear. She said when I was 18, I was wearing a blue winter jacket. Someone splashed me with some water, and it turned me gay. I know she believes in these things, as where she is from, people believe in that too. And I am torn on what to think. This is how I'm not being retarded. This is how it's written. She also said that my relationship with my current partner won't last long. Here's the interesting part. Someone had performed a divination or something to find all of this out. Or I suspect she had done that because she wouldn't lie about think like that. I think so, at least. That's not a possibility. Your sexuality is your own. No amount of magic can affect it. Didn't we just see some famous witch on Instagram, or well-known witch on Instagram, making dudes have gay dreams about their friends? Making dudes' penises not work with spells? But no, but when it comes to sex, when it comes to LGBTQ, no, that's we don't talk about that. None of them can even get their story straight. How many feminist witches have we seen talk about casting hexes on guys to make them dream about kissing their homies or cock blocking them? A lot of it is about sexuality. But when it comes to someone casting a spell to make you gay, no, you were born that way. You were born that way. It's not a choice. Nobody casts a spell on you to turn you gay. Fuck's sake, do you really think so little of queer people that it's even a possibility in your head? But you can cast as much spells as you want to make dudes' penises not work. Sure. Yeah, I think if you start having nightmares and you find a spell under your pillow that a girl you're dating left there, it's time to get domestic. I'm thinking we're getting domestic. Did I accidentally summon my grandma into my dream? I bet there's so much money to be made here. Why don't we, guys, what are we doing? Let's make an Etsy shop. Let's start taking these dumb bitches for all their money. Spells for getting an in-law roommate out. My in-law roommate of 4 years keeps making excuses as to why they can't.
Yeah, it's disheartening, Greg. I think especially young single men are the ones that are doomed, because there's a lot of women that are like this, and if they aren't like this, they're brainwashed in other ways.
Move out, even though that's what we agreed on, and he's more than capable of doing so. I have tried protection spells, smudging, and releasing negative attachment spells. Nothing has been working, and he keeps digging his claws in deeper, even messing with stuff on my altar. Based. Yeah, just mess with the shit on her altar so that she can't spell you out of your house. I want the best for him, so I was thinking a spell for him to move on and let go, but I also am thinking that's messing with free
It's making you want to drink, Carrie.
will. What spells would you recommend? Well, isn't that what all of this is?
Might have some of this.
If his free will is to stay in your home for the rest of time and fuck with all your stuff for funsies, what then? That's my free will. That's what I would be doing. This has to be a joke. It's not a joke. Blessing this ginger ale to fix my hangover at work. I'm firing you if I see that. If I see this at your desk, you're getting fired. It's full of helpless, up libtard women. I'm trying to get rid of my spell, but I have agoraphobia. I can't get rid of it. You can't get rid of the remnants of a spell because you're afraid to go outside. Glamour magic to end food noise results. Trigger warning for all those triggered by anything related to dieting. I have been struggling lately with an insatiable food noise as I do regularly smoke weed and just emotional eating. Oh, so you're a fat fuck. I work with Aphrodite. We're coworkers. I work with her. And last night I was doing glamour magic and decided to do a spell around ending my food noise. It is the next day and it's 5:17 p.m. and it literally just occurred to me that I've only had a latte today. Not intentional at all. I literally had the concept of eating wiped clean. Malnourishment isn't my goal, so I'll have to be more mindful about 3 meals a day. But if you struggle with constant food noise before you go to any medications, try this first. Oh, and now everyone's in uproar about this fat-phobic person trying to lose weight with spells. There's so much inner politics and bickering in the witchcraft community. I bet there's figureheads in the witchcraft community. Personally, I have a few theoretical explanations as to why this is happening. Number one, women are extremely susceptible to marketing. You see, I believe that there is some sort of cultural benefit for
Adam and Eve all over again. Yeah, in a way, yeah. Glenn Fittich, well done, young man. Yes, sir.
or whatever higher power it is to market demonic spiritualism to women and make it look cool to them. I'm not talking about just selling candles and tarot cards. There has to be a reason why this type of spiritualism is pushed so hard to young women and normalized on social media in the same way they're trying to convince young girls to turn trans. If not, at the end of the day for them, there's a high likelihood that it's just to get as many young women as possible.
Genesis 6 Conspiracy by Gary Wayne. What's that about? I mean, what's the gist of the conspiracy?
To stray away from traditional Christian values. Number 2, the price of being versus the price of becoming. From a young age, men are trained that they must prove themselves through achievement, status, financial success, physical toughness, stoicism, and providing for others. We are tied to what we do, not who we are. Women, on the other hand, are told that they are beautiful, valuable, and special simply for just existing. From a young age, they are told that they are special little princesses who can do no wrong. And they're taught that through family values and media. As men get older, we build value by working hard, learning about self-discipline and respect, and how to logically deal with situations, and so on and so forth. As they get older, especially with this modern age cultural equality that we've half-assly baked into society, they don't learn those things. So when they start feeling useless in this society that they wanted so badly, this cultural equality, they start reverting to Marvel Comics Avengers level fan fiction to gain empowerment. They will cast thousands of glamour spells on themselves just to look good instead of going to a gym. They will create intention jars and pray to Baphomet to get you to like them instead of just working on their shitty personalities. Number 3, and this is last but not least, but I think it is the most important one, the reason for why all of this is happening is because of us. There are way too many dudes that will put up with this bullshit, play along with it, laugh about it, roll their eyes, and try to cope and say, oh, it's cute because she lets me fuck her. Most women can't fathom the idea of a normal guy seeing them doing this shit, shutting it down immediately, and then dumping them because of it. And I clearly have anecdotal evidence of that. We have a lot of issues in the world today, and one of the main issues facing culture is female douchebaggery and our lack as men of calling them out on their bullshit. Yeah, we can laugh and we can make videos about it, and I can be a commenter on the ridiculous
Descendants of giants and how they are planning the enslavement of humanity. Like the Nephilim?
state of female delusion in the world right now, but how many of you have encountered it in person and not shut it down because pussy? I'm willing to bet 100%. Guess what? We need to start becoming competitive when it comes to clowning on these bitches. There needs to be a fatwa on female douchebaggery. I'm talking witchcraft. I'm talking astrology. I'm talking equality. I'm talking empowerment. If we ain't talking sandwiches, then we ain't talking. The biggest problem facing this pursuit that I am proposing is that there is always going to be weak men that are willing to betray themselves completely for the hopes of just a breadcrumb of female attention. You know, those dudes that have been painting their nails or claiming bisexuality for the last few years, or the ones that are marching in the Me Too movement marches and reading feminist literature. Those guys, remember those dudes? The dudes that were Harry Styles, imposter, wearing dresses in 2021? We're going to have to militantly bully those dudes. So much so that the punishment of acting that way completely outweighs the reward of the morsel of female attention they get from it. If you are sitting at the bar and you overhear a guy ask a girl what her astrological sign is, you need to quietly and calmly walk up behind him, grab him around his waist, and suplex him onto his head. You don't need to explain yourself as to why you did this. He will know exactly the reason why. Lately, the term performative male has been popping up online more and more as a sort of meme. It is a phenomenon that has been gaining traction online, particularly on social media platforms like TikTok and Twitter. It refers to men who adopt certain behaviors, interests, or
Heard of the Seed of Cain. This guy definitely needs to get enrolled at the Ike Turner School of Marriage Counseling.
hobbies that appear inauthentic and are seemingly performed to impress women or fit into certain social circles. It is becoming a joke, which I'm glad about because we are starting to call it out, but I have been getting into fights with these dudes since high school. I've talked about it before. There was the guy that would always pull the baby wipes out of his backpack in front of, always seemingly in front of a cute girl or a group of cute girls at school. It'd be like, I don't wipe my ass with toilet paper anymore. I use baby wipes. Oh, you don't use baby wipes, bro? No, I don't use baby wipes. I am a man. I have shit in my butt. I am a grown man. I don't need my ass to be squeaky clean because I don't plan on anyone's tongue or penis being in there anytime soon. Recent examples of performative male traits include drinking matcha lattes, owning Labubu toys, listening to Claro, wearing tote bags, and reading in public, especially feminist literature. These behaviors are often mocked online, with many users calling out men who engage in them as performative or fake. The term has become a de facto insult, implying that someone is trying too hard to fit in or be accepted by others. The performative male phenomenon has sparked a wider conversation about authenticity, social media, and the pressures of modern masculinity. There's no pressures of modern masculinity. This shit's easy. Just be tough. Just don't use baby wipes. Don't be a fake. They're adding so much more to the equation that doesn't need to happen.
That's good advice.
This dude cannot be serious. Performative final boss. Every one of these dudes that are making fun of this was probably one, which is like, okay, maybe you're growing past it. But this has been a phenomenon for a long time. This isn't just a new thing. The trends that they follow are new because they're trends, but this guy's been around forever. This is the guy asking the girl what her sign is at the bar. I did a whole video on it. This is the male pick-me girl. That's what this is. It's the male pick-me girl.
Thanks. I painted them black to celebrate the death of conventional masculinity.
I love how I was ahead of this. This is the guy that I was making fun of in Discovering Male Pick-Me Girls. Yeah, if we see any dudes wearing anything like this, you're getting suplexed. You know who a performative male is? You know who the performative male final boss is? This fucker right here. This is the performative male final boss. This guy is a rapist. This guy is a piece of shit. This is the dude that I would get into a fight with and the whole friend group would be in turmoil because of me. Nah, dude. No, we're not doing this.
I'm not letting you go.
You don't have to, you never have to, baby.
No. No.
Do you know why dudes are coming out in a complete uproar over this Pedro Pascal bullshit? It's because we've all known a guy like this. Every guy, this is a rite of passage of being a man, is having a dude trying to snake your chick like this and having to whoop his ass and having everybody be mad at you because you picked on the guy who's got anxiety. The act of knowing a guy that's like this is synonymous with most men, but the act of acting this way is not. Like, acting this way is not. This is Hollywood shit. This is people trying to normalize such weird, odd behavior. A woman who is married and pregnant, Eskimo kissing another man. And then all of the lefties are coming out, the people who would fall for, the people that are so anti-sexual harassment and sex pest behavior. Didn't they cancel Andrew Callahan of Channel 5 because not even because he's a rapist, because he's a little bit of a sex pest, because he was asking girls for sex? Not something that I would do, but something that I'm sure is riz for a lot of guys. The people who are anti-sex pest are okay with this because they're hoping that he's gay. He hasn't even come out as gay. We don't know if he's gay or not, and he's acting this way. That's the ultimate performative male.
Pedro is a tool. I have no idea who that guy is. I don't pay any attention to anything celebrities are doing. I couldn't care less.
I think this should be seen as worse than being a sex pest. I think this should be considered manipulative at the very least. Forget the lonely men epidemic. The performative male era is here. Elle magazine. It is a joke. It's not an era. We are making fun of these dudes. We are putting them on blast because we have collectively decided that there has to be an end to this.
Hey, where'd you get your drink? I love strawberry matcha.
You like strawberry matcha too? No way! I feel like it's so niche because everyone just likes matcha nowadays.
I know we're all joking about this, and some of you are going to say, well, game is game, Riz is Riz, but it's not true. The men that subscribe to the true manipulation tactics such as these are betraying themselves. They're contributing to a culture that is degrading the economy of dating between men and women. Have you noticed that young men and women like hate each other right now? They're spending ways to try to figure out how to get one over on each other constantly. It's because of shit like this. I know that I just went off on a little bit of a tangent there, but if there's one thing I hate more than dudes that just sit idly by and enable the bad behavior of women, it's guys who fully play into it and act like it's a core part of their personality for just a little bit of pussy, please. Can I get a little bit of pussy, please? What does a nigga have to do to get a little bit of pussy around here? Paint his nails and act bisexual? Bottom line is, not only do we have to bully those dudes, we have to not enable these girls to do what they're doing. The witchcraft stuff just has to stop, or at the very least has to become a meme. We got to make fun of them. We got.
Sorry, but what is Riz? Riz is a Generation Z term, Zoomer term. It's like it's for it means like pickup game, like how good your game is with picking up women. I guess it could be applied the other way around too, but yeah, skibbity on God, for real.
Invade the subreddits. We got to start making Etsy businesses and selling them bullshit and taking them for all they're worth. We got to make it to where they can't trust a single Etsy shop. We got to make them realize how ridiculous buying spells off of Etsy is.
All right, that's the end of that. I suggest you guys go check out this guy's channel. It's called Plunder Stream. He's a funny guy, makes good videos. Let's see, we're at about 2 hours now. I think we'll probably call it there. There's actually a stream about to start that I kind of wanted to watch. So probably gonna end it. I'll post the stream here if any of you guys want to join me. It's a great channel. I'm not going right this second, but that guy was beast. Yeah, he's funny. He makes some pretty good videos calling out stupid bullshit on TikTok and stuff. Yeah, so I don't know, guys. I'll probably be hanging out over in that chat over there. The guy the streamer is a fellow Eastern Orthodox. He does like a lot of political commentary, and he's really funny. He does impressions of Ben Shapiro and stuff. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, guys. I will catch you on the next one.